everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Meryl and in today's video I'm going to use my Soft Glam palette by Anastasia, this one here. But before we jump onto the eyes, let's put the skin on because I don't think that palette has too much fallout, and also I have a couple friends hanging out on my face and I kind of just want to cover them up. I've got my face lotion on. I'm using the Laneige Water Bank Serum. It feels really good on my skin and it's like kind of tacky, so I feel like it'll also be good to hold my makeup in place. I'm going to apply a little bit of pore filling primer. Pore filling primer. Say that 5 times fast. Pore filling primer, pore filling primer, it's actually not that hard. So I'm going to take this little mini primer by Milk Makeup and just apply that kind of in this area here and on my chin and in this area here and my nose. And I'm just going to take my fingers and kind of blend and massage that into the skin. Fuck. Okay, it's like all pilling. That didn't work. I'm gonna just stop touching it and I'm just gonna move forward with the makeup and hope that it doesn't look all fucked up. Okay, I'm taking my Becca Under Eye Brightener in the shade Light to Medium. Okay, I'm going to use 2 different concealers today. I'm gonna stick with my Eyeglass Vanish concealer for my under eye circles, but I'm going to use a different one to cover up the couple of blemishes that I have, and I will tell you why in a second. Okay, so I've got my Hourglass concealer on. To cover up your blemishes, you want to use a concealer that is the same color as your skin, or like a shade, half a shade darker. If you apply a lighter concealer onto a blemish like that, it's just going to highlight it. So if you use a bit of a darker shade, it'll just kind of conceal it and camouflage it. So I'm going to take my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and this is in the shade NC20. Okay, so I've got the product on my palette here, and I'm going to take my Expert Concealer Brush by Real Techniques. It's just like a nice, great little dense brush. Oh, there's lots of fluffies in it. I haven't used this brush in a while. So I'm going to take some product onto my brush and really work the product into the bristles. And you don't need a lot. And I'm even going to dab some off on the back of my hand. And then just taking your finger and kind of working the product in around it. I think it's pretty hidden. And then I've got another fucking thing over here. This one is flat, so it's a lot easier to cover because you can't really cover texture that well. It's like always going to kind of show, but this one here is flat, so that one's really easy to cover. But yeah, so the main trick is that you could always go in with a green concealer under it, but honestly I don't really care that much, so I'm just gonna go in with the regular, like the skin color concealer. But yeah, so the trick is that you always want it to be a perfect match or a tiny bit darker. And I'm still gonna go in with my foundation and then see if I need to reconceal it, but I think with the foundation it should be okay. So I'm gonna take my Becca Skin Love foundation, and this is in the shade Buff. I took 2 pumps of that. That might have been a little bit overkill, but whatever. Okay, and I'm going to apply this foundation with a foundation brush. And even if I use a foundation brush, I always go in after with a beauty sponge just to really make it all seamless, because the brush will still kind of leave some strokes of product Also, there's like, seems like there's a lot going on outside today. So if you hear any noises or things like that, it's because they're filming something at the restaurant downstairs. Okay, so I'm gonna take my Real Techniques beauty sponge and just kind of blend everything in. Okay, so I'm like pretty much out of my Anastasia eyebrow pencil and like pretty much out of my brow products that I've been using recently. So yesterday actually I did the whole soap brow thing, so I'm gonna do that today because I liked the way that it looked yesterday. Basically for soap brows, what you need is like a little tiny bar of soap. I use this L'Occitane soap, like a little tiny bar of soap. I use this L'Occitane soap. It's just like a little tiny bar, this big. And what you want to do for the soap brow, so basically soap brows, it's gonna keep your hair, it's like an eyebrow gel, so it'll keep the hairs really locked in the place that you style them to. So what you need is a little bar of soap, a spoolie, and some kind of liquid. You can either use like Fix Plus, like any setting spray that you have, or you can even use water. So I'm gonna use water on this. So you just wanna give it a couple sprays and don't have it like soaking wet. So after you've sprayed it, you just kind of run your fingers through it just to spritz off any extra water that's on there, because you don't want it to like lather, you just want it to be a little bit saturated. Okay, so got my soap and my spoolie, and you literally just want to like kind of swirl it and pick the product up, just so the bristles are nice and coated. Okay, that's probably plenty, so that'll probably be enough for both eyebrows. So I've got my spoolie here with the soap on it, and now you basically just want to go through the eyebrows like you would if you were using a eyebrow gel. See, they're all kind of sticking up nicely. And for this technique, you do want to do the soap first, because if you do it second, and you've already got the product on, it just kind of like, it will just be kind of slippy, and it'll just move the eyebrow product around and make it look muddy and not as clean and sharp. So you definitely want to do the soap first, and then you want to let it sit for a minute or so that it all dries down properly. And then you can go in with your eyebrow products. I'm going to take my Dip Brow Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow, so it's like a pomade, and use this instead. And I'm going to find my little eyebrow brush. Where the heck are you? So I've got this is my Anastasia number 14 brush, I believe. Yes. This product is really easy to overuse, so I like to just take a couple swipes on the brush and then mix it into the lid. Just kind of brush it off into the lid here, so that you remove any extra product. So my soap has set down, and now you can go in and just fill in your brows like you would normally. Okay, my eyebrows are on, and yeah, so once you've got the product in, you can just take your spoolie once again and just kind of comb the brows. There you go. Nice little feathery eyebrow look. Moving on to the rest of the face, I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in the shade Amber. This is just a nice cool toned highlighter, sure. Nice cool toned bronzer contour. I cleaned all my brushes yesterday, so they're all feeling nice and fresh on my face. Honestly though, I wonder who was like the first person who was like, oh, I don't have any eyebrow gel, let me run some soap through my eyebrows. Like, who thought of that? So weird. Bronzer is on. I'm gonna take some on my nose. Okay, now I'm going to take my highlight. I'm gonna use my Kaja Mochi Glow highlight in the shade Toy Alien. Literally the same highlight I've been using since I bought it. It's just way too pretty to not use. And I'm just taking it on my Real Techniques beauty sponge. I definitely like it applied with the beauty sponge the best. And just a little tiny bit on my finger and just sweeping it on the bridge of my nose. Now I'm going to go in with some blush, and I'm going to take my colourpop blush stick, and this is in the shade Hooked, and I'm going to take it on my finger, I think. So I'm just going to take it on my middle finger here, like that, and remove some of the excess product on the back of my hand, and apply it to the apples of my cheeks. So that's what the skin's looking like. I applied that, where is it? This weird like little pore filler thing primer, and it was all pilly and like moving around in my skin, but it actually looks fine. It doesn't look like that was even a thing, so that's nice. Okay, I'm gonna take my Soft Glam palette here. I'm gonna take the shade Tempera, and I think I want to do like a mauvey type of situation. Okay, next I'm gonna take the shade Burnt Orange. Sorry, that was my Farah blending brush, E35 blending brush, just using that to put the product all over my eyelid. Next I'm gonna take this brush here. This is an Urban Studio brush. I don't know, doesn't have a specific name or anything, but I purchased it at Winners. So I'm gonna take Burnt Orange and use this as my transition crease shade. And you just want to use a really light hand when you're blending, because if you use like a heavier hand, it just kind of moves the product around, and if you use a really light hand, it just barely, it's like just barely on top, and it's just kind of blending it, you know? Okay, so I'm taking Dusty Rose, and this is my NYX brush. I believe it is number 16. Yes, it is. I want to take Mulberry. Mulberry? Yeah, it's like a deep plum color. And I'm just going to take that, a tiny bit of that, just to deepen the outer corner and the crease a little bit. And I think I want to take it on, no, okay, I am going to take it on my MAC 221S brush. It's like a really pretty plum color, and just, oh, my face is itchy about y'all. Oh, you fuck. Just drop my beauty sponge into the eyeshadow palette. Why did you do that? Taking the clean, non-eyeshadow side and just tapping my face because it's really itchy here. Okay, back to my eyes. I'm taking Mulberry here and just lightly dusting it in the crease. And then you can take the brush that we used, our very first shade, second shade technically, Burnt Orange on, and just dust over the edge here, just to make it really seamless. Drink some water. I have not been drinking enough water, people. This is your reminder. Drink some water right now. Okay, now to move on to some shimmery shades. I don't know which ones to use here. This one is like a little bit too, this one's too deep. I don't really want to use that one today. This one is a little bit too pink. This one's super full up and pretty. Maybe I'll mix these two and see what that looks like. Pretty flippin' perfect. Okay. So I'm taking rose pink and glistening and I'm mixing them. There's so much happening on my hand right now, but right here, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna take it right here. So I'm mixing the two colors on my hand and it's like this perfect like rose gold color and I am here for it. So yeah. And then I'm just taking it onto my eyelid. It is so beautiful. I love it. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm gonna take my little favorite brush for under the lash line, and this is my London Look brush. So I'm going to take my shade Burnt Orange and start under here. So I'm gonna take the same brush, the little London Look brush, taking Dusty Rose and just doing the same exact thing, but not taking it as far in to the inner corner, like 2/3 of the way in. And then I'm taking Mulberry on the same little brush and just focusing this one really on the outer corner here. And then I think for the inner corner, I'm just going to take that shade Glistening because it's a really pretty gold. So I'm gonna take it on, maybe I'll take it on this little brush here. And this is just a Real Techniques detailer brush. And I'm taking my MAC Fix Plus, giving it a spritz. Oh my god, this is so close to the end. It's almost over. Look at it, there's like 2 uses left, maybe a bit more. Okay, I'm just taking the shade Glisten and adding some highlight into the inner corner. Get the back of my hand. Like, also, yeah, if you don't have a palette like this, you can just use the back of your hand. You don't need to have a palette. And also, if you put it on the back of your hand, it helps warm up the products and they blend easier into the face, concealer and foundation wise. Time for some eyeliner. So I'm taking what brush is this? This is my MAC. Oh my god, I always forget what this brush is called. I'm not even gonna try to remember it. I'm just gonna always insert it into the little screen here. So this is what the brush is. I'm just gonna do, I'm gonna try to do a small wing, but who knows if that's really what the case will be, because sometimes you just fuck it up and it ends up going out to your ears. Eyeliner. Taking my eyeliner brush. So I fucked up both my eyeliners and it's okay. I'm gonna go in and try to fix it now. So I'm just taking a clean brush and sweeping it away with a bit of pressure, not like a crazy amount, but there's definitely some pressure. And I'm sweeping away the eyeliner, the product that I don't want to be there. Honestly though, mascara and lashes will fix everything. Will fix all my problems. Okay. I'm gonna curl my eyelashes. Apply mascara. And the lashes that I'm gonna use today are, well, I'm planning to use these ones. They're kind of like a half lash, so you apply it to the outer corner. So I'm gonna focus a lot of my mascara on the inner corner here and make sure that these lashes don't get forgotten about. These are called the Velour Effortless Lash. So yeah, you apply them to the outer, you focus the end of the lash on the outer corner instead of trying to make it even in the middle, because that's not the way they were designed. Okay, so we're taking our lash here and we're taking our mirror. We're looking down into the mirror and flopping the lash on. Oh damn. Yes, please. I think, oh, I'm getting my eyelashes done tomorrow. Wow, these lashes are fucking beautiful. I forgot how nice they are. Oh my god. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, let me put the other one on because it's so fucking pretty. I think we did it. Yeah, these eyelashes are literally beautiful. If you have problems with fake eyelashes, they're fucking expensive. So you don't need to buy these, but even with a regular pair of falsies, you can just trim them and you'll get the same effect. So this is a Chanel lipstick in the shade 434 Mademoiselle. I don't think this fucking camera focuses on anything, but it's a really pretty lipstick. Ugh. It's really creamy and beautiful, but once again, this fucking lipstick is broken. Like, how is this lipstick a bougie ass lipstick and both of the Chanel lipsticks I have are broken? I don't apply them aggressively or anything. Like, I think the formula is just like so creamy that maybe if it gets warm, it just breaks, which is fucking bullshit. I'm gonna go in with a lip liner now. Which one should I use? Yeah, that's a pretty good match. It's a bit purple, but whatever. Okay, I'm gonna take this Rimmel London lip liner in the shade 1000 Kisses. It's like pretty nice little purpley shade here. Oh. I need a mirror for this because I keep going out of the screen. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Super pretty lip color, and that lip liner actually was like a perfect match. I like that a lot. Finish it off with some setting spray, my last couple of uses of MAC Fix Plus. It's like fucking big ass drop on my head. Yeah, it's super empty. Should I not? Okay, there. Yes. Okay, let me take the clean side of this beauty sponge that, I mean, none of it's really clean, but this side has no eyeshadow on it at least. Okay, and this is the finished look, everybody. I think that this lip color is super pretty, and I love the eyelashes. I was like, what do I love? And then I was like, oh yeah, it's on your fucking eyes. These lashes are so pretty. If you have a Sephora gift card that you want to spend on something expensive and stupid, buy these eyelashes. Thank you so much for watching today's YouTube video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I will have all of the products I used in this video linked in the description box down below, along with my Instagram username handle. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you would like as well. There's a little eyelash. Make a wish. Bye.